Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Success Series. I am your host, David Berg. I'm here with my co-host, Michael Konowski. Our guest of today, a very special guest, Agueda Lopez. Very happy you're here today.
Thank you, it's an honor.
Absolutely. Episode number 20 of the Success Series. Agueda started her career in Madrid, Spain as a model at 19 years old. World-renowned, now lives in Miami, Florida with her husband and 2 kids. We're actually at her house today, so thank you so much for having us here today.
It's a pleasure.
She has a wonderful story, and we'll jump right in. So, Agueda, if you could share a little bit about your background, how you started off your career in Spain and eventually came to Miami.
Well, I started in Spain and was born in a little town in Córdoba, Andalusia, the south. And I always had this big dream. I want to be a model, right? And not everybody at that moment understood my dream. You know, I suffered bullying at the school for that. But I honestly feel that all of that prepared me for what came next. You know, it made me stronger for sure, and it made me realize that you can please everybody if you want to be successful in life, you know?
Right. Absolutely. And where did the inspiration for modeling come from? Was that just like one day you woke up and you said, I want to be a model? Or?
Well, I always, since I remember, I want to be a model. You know, I used to dance. I danced for 10 years in my little town. But someday I saw these beautiful girls walking into a modeling academy, and I convinced my parents, and I switched my dance classes for the modeling lessons, you know.
And how old are you at this time?
I was like 12, 13.
Wow, so yeah. Super young.
Super young, yeah.
Wow, and then, so you had journaling career post high school.
Yeah.
Was that between high school and college, or did you go straight into modeling right after high school?
No, after high school I started to study journalism in Madrid, and I love it. I love journalism. It was amazing, but my true passion was fashion. So the 3rd year, I think, I just say, that's it. I'm going after my dream. And I think it was one of the best decisions I ever made, for sure.
Clearly worked out in the end, so obviously it was a great decision. In growing up, what was your family dynamic like in your house? Did you grow up in a wealthier family, in a poverty family? Like, can you give us a little background on?
No, my family was a really normal family. They work a lot, super hard. Like I said before, I was born and raised in a super little town in the middle of nowhere, you know. And maybe for that, you know, when somebody has had this kind of dream to, you know, like it's different. It's a different dream from the rest of the people.
Right.
People like don't know how to feel about it, you know, like, and that's why maybe some kids do bullying to me. Maybe some adults like look at me like, what's wrong with her? You know, but I was so lucky because my parents believe in my dreams, you know, and they support my dreams, and you know, and they were with me until the last moment.
Beautiful. Beautiful. And you had success right when you started your modeling career pretty quickly, or not. Share us that journey.
You know, ups and downs. I think everything is a process, you know. A lot of people say, yes, you can do it. And a lot of people say, you're not tall enough, you're not beautiful enough, you're not anything, you know, like, but I love challenges. So I try hard, and I'm here. It worked out, you know?
Right. Was there a moment in your modeling career where you said, this isn't for me, it's not working, and you wanted to just throw it all away and quit?
Oof. You know, when I moved from Madrid, it was complicated, and when I tried to move here, to Miami, because I didn't know how this agency world works, you know. So I came here with my pictures and I knocked to every agency, you know, like, I'm here, I'm a model, you know. And the agency said, like, you don't have an appointment, you don't have a recommendation, your book is not big or important enough, you know. So it was very frustrating. I came for 2 days because I thought, listen, I'm gonna get a good agency and I come back to Madrid and I'm gonna travel, you know, for seasons, you know. But nobody wants to open the door to me. And I got a taxi with my suitcase and I went to the airport. And the taxi was a Colombian guy. And he asked me, like, how was the American dream, you know? And I told him, woof, it was a disaster, you know, because nobody wants to attend me. And nobody give me time. And he said, maybe you should do the extra mile. And I was like, what is the extra mile? That's not a sentence, a word we use in Spain, you know. Right. And he said, you know, if you want something, you need to work more than anyone to get it. And I said, you know what, you're right, like, turn around. And we went, you know, to the airport and we do like a U-turn, like, wow, let's go to the beach again to the agencies.
Sure.
And I went to the last agency I was visited that day, and I sit down and wait. And the owner told me, I can attend you, you don't have an appointment. And like, you don't doing anything.
Right.
You know, like, I'm here. And I wait for maybe 1 hour. I knew my flight was departing already to home. But I stayed there. And she finally said, you know what, walk for me. Put this bathing suit and walk again. And he signed me that day.
Wow.
He signed me that day, and he sponsorship my visa for, you know, I need a visa to work in USA. So she did everything that day, the same person that 2 hours before them went to see me. You know?
Incredible.
Yeah.
Wow. And then from that point onwards, did you now start your career in Miami and stay here, or did you go?
Here.
You never went back?
I never went back. I remember I called my dad. He was so sad.
I'm sure.
I was, you know, Papi, I'm going to stay here.
Yeah.
He said, you know what? It's your dream. You need to stay there. So I stay here.
Wow. And do you miss parts of Madrid, or do you enjoy the Miami?
I love Miami. Miami is a city that just brought me happiness, you know. I love Madrid also. It's my city. My friends, my family, all of them are there, you know. But I don't change Miami for anything until now. You never know tomorrow, you know.
Who knows what can happen, right?
Who knows?
So people see, especially in modeling careers, right? You see the glamour, you see the flashy lights. Like, people see the perfect perspective of what they think it is. What are some challenges that you went through, or that you go through in the modeling world and as a public person?
Well, you know, when people feel so powerful with a phone in the hand, like leaving comments, you know, and you can, you know, not everybody can likes you. It's fine, you know, but why to be cruel? Why to be disrespectful with one person, you know? I had a process, I mean, to accept all this reality. You know, 14 years ago, I met my husband. That brought a lot of attention to me. It wasn't positive, you know. I received hate messages, disrespect, criticism, everything you can imagine. I mean, like, day after day after day for a long time, and it was very hard. And I went through a dark period of my life. that's when I decided to start learning about Kabbalah. I woke up and I drove to the Kabbalah Center here in Miami, and I got a meeting with a teacher. And I was telling him how bad I was feeling, for this situation that was so hard and so cruel. I don't understand. And he looked at me and he smiled to me and he said, all this public humiliation, all this hate, all this criticism is making you humble. And the light of the Creator just can enter in a humble heart. So that changed my perspective of everything, And I realized that my life and my journey is in God's hand, not in people's opinions.
Right.
Like we say in Spanish, mi vida está en las manos de Dios, no está en las opiniones de nadie.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And so the next day you went back to your life after this meeting, and was it instant, the change? Like the next morning you woke up and you're like, you know what, I don't care as much, or did it?
I wish.
Nothing happens like that, right?
Yeah, I wish.
Yeah.
No, it was a process, but the good thing about Kabbalah is that everything makes sense. They give you tools to manage this situation. It's just black or white. If you do this is going to happen. And it's like that. It helps me a lot with everything, with every process, not just with that process.
Sure.
With a lot of process in my life. It has been 14 years, and I'm so grateful that day I drove to the Kabbalah Center here in Miami.
Completely. That situation aside, what would you say is if somebody's going to ask you, why should I study Kabbalah or why should I go to the Kabbalah Center? What would be the one thing in life that you would say, just for this alone, it was worth it?
Because you get to see life from another perspective. The approach to life is different. It's meaningful. You get a purpose. How many people that you think they look amazing and they feel terrible inside. They don't find the way. I think it's difficult to find the way for sure, but it's easier when you have this consciousness, this, and it's close to you. You can get it.
Right.
If somebody asks me, my friends ask me, just go, just listen. You don't have to involve okay, I had to do this. No, go and listen, and I promise you, as soon as you open your heart and listen, a teacher talking about Kabbalah, talking about the light, talking about everything, this magic, everything is going to change in your life.
Beautiful. Has it increased your happiness in your life as well?
For sure. I'm going to tell you something. Since I studied Kabbalah, I feel powerful, I feel fearless.
Wow.
I feel limitless. Because I always say, when you have the light of the Creator as your partner in this journey, what could possibly go wrong? You succeed or you learn, but you never lose.
Completely. And so in the public eye, we touched on this already before, most people say, if only I had this, if only I had that, and then you get there and it's never as good as you thought it would be. So to somebody, most of our audience that listens to this is a younger demographic, they're looking for purpose and career in their life. If they're chasing fame or publicity, what would be your advice to them as far as why that shouldn't be something that you should chase necessarily?
I don't know about fame, if I can give any advice, that's super personal. But about career, I can say just go after your dreams. Just take that first step. Life is such a gift, and you need to do what makes you happy, like, and there is no time to waste. People think, oh, I have time, like maybe in 2 years, maybe like next year. It's not like that, Time is so precious. For me, it's the most precious thing ever. And if you have another day, if you're healthy and you have this opportunity to follow your dreams, just go, jump,
Right.
now.
You have children and you have a husband. So what is your advice? And then how do you do it yourself? Like, how do you have this amazing modeling career and then also 2 beautiful children? How do you balance the two?
Well, I have, I think it's easier than people think, at least in my case, Also, I'm married with this famous singer, right? And he has an amazing career too. He's traveling a lot all the time. He's huge. But I support him in everything he does, and he supports me in everything I do. And we have a beautiful balance between family and career, and we know family comes first always. Mm-hmm. That's our motto. For us, our kids are everything in this world. My kids see him, and they understand he has to travel a lot, and it's fine. They understand I travel sometimes, and it's fine. We're so proud of my husband. I think he accomplished a lot of things, important things in life. But we know he's a superstar, but he's an amazing human being. And that's the most important thing to us.
Completely. And when your kids ask you about their career and what you guys want from them, what is your message to your children for when they grow up?
I just want they'll be happy all the time. I don't want... some people ask me, do you want your kid maybe is a singer or maybe it's a model because, your daughter is tall and maybe it's a model. It's like, I don't care. I just want they to be happy all the time. They love what they're doing, That's the most important thing. Life, like I said before, is so beautiful and such a gift for, you need to do what makes you happy all the time,
Right. Completely. We hear so often, especially in some of the interviews we do, people say, you can have all the money and all of this, but then if you're not happy, you have nothing at all. So I think...
Nothing at all. But you know what? I think also it's a balance. People need to add spirituality to their life because everybody cares so much about the physical things, My house, my car, my body, my everything. But if you don't take care of your soul also, nothing is going to work. It's a package. You can feed this side and don't feed this side. It has to be complete. You have to be balanced in life to get to be happy. That's what I think. I don't know. Maybe it's completely wrong, but
it's not.
That's what I think.
Everything is objective to what works for you completely. So, in knowing what we know about you, and maybe it's not a lot at all, what is something that most people don't know about you that if you could say to the world that you would?
I pray a lot. I pray a lot. It's the first thing I do in my mornings and the last thing I do before I'm going to sleep. People maybe see me, because I work out every day.
Right.
And I do a lot of things and I travel and I put these beautiful dresses, Maybe they don't think this, but I pray a lot. Prayer for me is that place where I'm going to connect, to recharge, to understand, and also helps me a lot to slow down and regroup when life gets a little bit turbulent,
Completely. What does the prayer look like for you? Are you sitting and meditating? Are you asking for things? What is it? How does it look like when you pray?
I don't ask for things. I'm grateful for everything, I don't meditate so much because I'm not so good at it. If I think I'm gonna sit and meditate, forget it. My mind is gonna be all over the place. So no, forget it.
Yeah.
But I have my space, you know, and I have my moment. And maybe I'm here. Maybe I wake up in a plane. And the first thing I think is like, thanks God, I have a new day, a new opportunity, and I start praying because it's a new opportunity every day, you know, it's another day, another 24 hours you have to do right things, you know.
Right. And then on a day when you wake up and you don't feel your best, maybe, you know, we all have some days we feel good, some days we feel not so good. What do you do on those days that help you kind of get out of that rut or the sadness or whatever it is that comes up sometimes?
I don't think so much. I wake up and I do what I had to do. I wake up and take my kids to school. I make breakfast. I'm going to work out to the gym, and I don't let that thoughts or that energy like stay in me for more than 7 minutes. We have a rule. My teacher and I, we have a rule. We say, how much time is going to affect you? 7 minutes, 7 days, 7 months, 7 years. There's people that is suffering yet for things that happened 10 years ago. It's like,
right.
Come on.
Let it go.
Let it go. Life is like so short to be like this, like suffering for something that happened 10 years ago. So of course I have my days, you know, I have my moments, but I don't let that any negative thought stay in me for more than 7 minutes.
Right. Very hard to do, but it's
very hard. But, you know, I try everything. If I have to go to the gym again, I'm going to the gym again. If I have to call my mom, just listen her voice.
Right.
I call my mom. You can do it. You have to scan the sore. I scan my sore. I read a book. It's possible. It's possible to do. You had to training. I always say this like a muscle. You know, you had to like working out that muscle.
Right.
But it's possible.
Completely.
It's possible.
And I'll just mention for some of our listeners, the Zohar is what the principle of Kabbalah was founded off of. And every day I look at it every day and read it, and it's the greatest tool for me as well.
Yeah.
So I think it's important. I don't think we mentioned the Zohar on an episode before.
Oh,
so,
really?
Yeah. So this is the first time we're mentioning it, but I just think it's important.
Sorry, it's everything. I travel with my sword. I sometimes I got the big one, you know, the black one.
Sure.
And my husband tell me like, where are you going?
It's taking up the whole suitcase, right?
Like, I don't care. I feel like I said before, I feel powerful. I feel protected. I feel like I can find all the answer here, you know, somehow. Sometimes I having a bad moment, I just open it and scan, and I feel better.
Wow.
It's my daughter, when she was super little, she told me, Mommy, that's your magic book, you know, because I trying to explain her, like, what is that? And like, it's a magic book. For me, it is.
There's no other words to explain what it can do.
It's a very powerful tool that if just people know, you know.
Right. So when you're not working and when you're not connecting to the Creator, even though I'm sure you always are, what are some other things that you enjoy doing for fun?
I love to be with my kids. You know, I love to spend my time with them because I don't know why I have to. So the big one, she grew up so fast, and I just want to like stop the time for my little one. I want to enjoy him so much, and I understand that nothing is forever, and maybe in 10 years and 15 years they're gonna go to college, another state, I don't know, but I just want to enjoy that time with them. For me, they're everything, you know.
Completely.
Yeah.
And I'll ask you a question which you can answer in Spanish for our Spanish audience.
Okay.
We are in Miami after all, so
Thank you. Thank you. I'm struggling with my English.
No,
I mean, I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying my best. You know, it's not my first language.
I always say you're speaking better English than me, but that's the. So in Spanish, what is it? If you could give one message to younger women about their self-confidence, about their self-worth, that can just help them as they grow up and they grow into their adulthood, what would be the one message you'd like to give them?
Well, les voy a decir algo. No pongan su valor fuera de ustedes. Las mujeres, los seres humanos somos poderosos, somos muy valiosos, tenemos muchísimas cosas buenas y podemos hacer muchas cosas buenas. No dejen el valor de su ser en manos ajenas. No permitan que nadie les diga que no pueden, no permitan que nadie les diga que no son suficientes, no permitan que nadie les diga que no van a hacer nada en la vida, porque lo único que va a pasar es que le van a dar una oportunidad a ustedes para llevarles la contraria y lo van a poder hacer. So, échenle ganas y no lo piensen tanto. Den el primer paso y sigan adelante y confiando en que la luz del Creador va a estar con ustedes y que van a ser capaces de todo lo que se propongan en la vida. Did you understand?
A little bit. Poquito, as they say. Agueda, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It was an absolute pleasure to have you on. I'm sure we'll have you on again soon.
I hope so.
And a lot of valuable insights for our listeners. So
Thank
it's
you.
absolutely beautiful.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
You guys doing something amazing. Amazing. Thank you so much for all the time and all the effort you're doing in this podcast.
We're very excited. Thank you so much. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be back next week with episode 21. Thank you.